Hello, hello friends. Welcome, very warm welcome in our today's lecture. Previous lecture, we have discussed the types of aquaculture. In the particular, we have discussed the monoculture and polyculture, two culture aspects or culture systems in very detailed manner. Okay, and now this part, the last part of this unit, first is the integrated fish farming. That is the it is the third one of this culture aspect, or we can say the aquaculture method. So the integrated fish farming. So when we observe any activity nearby any pond, it may be of any cattle or any other animal, that for example the pig is there or duck is there or any birds. Okay, so at that time you just think of that should be that animal rearing or the bird rearing or other animals rearing with the with we can say the with the fishes also. So in this regard, this integrated fish farming is very important aspect. Okay, so what just we will see the what is integrated fish farming and what are the number of animals we can rear along with the fishes. Okay, so this integrated fish farming, the fish are cultured along with agricultural crops such as paddy, banana, coconut, etc., and other animals such as poultry, duck, cattle, and pig. See here, what I want to say here, that this integrated fish farming, the fish they are cultured, they are cultured along with the whatever the agricultural crops we have. For example, the paddy, the banana, the coconut, these agricultural crops, they need much more water, and no doubt these crops having more water for 3 to 4 months or more than that. Okay, so that particular water can be used for the fish culture. Okay, so this is about agricultural crops. But see here, some animal is also quoted here. For example, the poultry is there, duck, cattle, and pig is there. So we'll discuss one by one how this integrated fish farming is important in this aquaculture system. Okay, so the excreta of livestock serve as manure for the plankton production or as direct food for fish. So if we are selected some animals for rearing, for example pig or cattle, so whatever the excreta generated by the animals, that can be useful for what? Useful for the plankton production by taking this excreta, and that excreta is used as a manure. So that can be used as a manure for the plankton production, as well as this excreta is also useful for the use as a food for the fishes also. Okay, so in agricultural field, the paddy provides space for culture and the crop provides shade for the fish. So see here, the paddy provides space for culture and the crops provide shade for the fish. Okay, and the excreta of the fish in turn serve as a manure for the crops. So mutual understanding, we can say the mutual benefit is done to the both animals. For example, both means both animals or both the for example the fish or the paddy also. Okay, now so the next is the this regarding the we will first discussed about the paddy cum fish culture. Okay, so we know the our India, the paddy, or we can say the paddy is very important crop, and the India has a traditional system of paddy cum fish culture, largely practiced in the coastal states of Kerala and West Bengal. These two states, that is the Kerala and West Bengal, they are the more important states as far as the paddy cum fish culture is concerned. Okay, because in these states, in a more quantity, or the particular fishermen or the fish farmers or the paddy farmers, they what we can say that they prefer or they culture the fishes in their paddy field. Okay, by culturing them they get double income, means by selling fishes plus whatever the paddy comes from the field also they sell. Okay, so by culturing these fishes they have double income. So the system works well in paddy fields fed copiously by rivers or lakes. Okay, the system works well in a paddy fields fed copiously by rivers or the lakes, and the paddy cum fish culture is a promising venture, and if best management inputs are given, it can bring fancy returns to the growers. So see here, you just remember that if you are taking a good care or with taking a care of this particular paddy come fish culture system, then it should be, or it the more profit will be gained to the farmers. Okay, so see here the paddy come fish culture, as you can see in this picture I have just in this slide, this is the green land, or that is the paddy, and this is the, see here you can see there's a number of fishes. Okay, that picture is downloaded by me by internet. Okay, so just see here the fishes you are just seeing here, and the paddy is there. Okay, so multiple cropping further improve the returns from such agricultural land, thus shifting the emphasis from such integrated farming. So this integrated culture needs what it needs: abundant water, and low-lying area are the most suitable for this integrated fish farming. We can say the paddy cum fish culture. Okay, and many million hectares of water spread are most convenient for integrated culture. Okay, and in this system, two crops of paddy and one crop of fish can be cultured in a year. See here the importance of this, or the advantages of this paddy cum fish culture is that we can take two crops of paddy plus one crop of fish. Okay, means by two cropping of this particular paddy, the farmers get the income from the paddy itself, and if the farmer they culture the fishes in the particular farm, by selling these fishes which are present near 1 year, so it can be a good marketable size also generated from this period. So by selling these fishes also, for farmer get enough output also in the form of economic or in the form of monies. Okay, then the waterlogged paddy fields are the ideal natural habitat of various type of fishes. And I studied the fishes at that time. The the paddy field is very good habitat for the fishes. Okay, so fish in the paddy fields result in an increased yield of grain varying from 5 to 15%, and the fish consume large quantities of weed, worms, insects, larvae, and algae, which are either directly or indirectly injurious to paddy. So another important criteria, or we can say that if we culture the fishes in this paddy, so that fishes they are consume, or they are feeds on what? They are feeds on the weeds, they feeds on the insects, they feeds on the larvae and algae, and that particular insect, worms, or the weed, or the algae, or the number of larvae, they may harmful to the paddy. By eliminating from this paddy field, they, what we can say, that they help to the paddy also. Okay, and they are directly or indirectly microorganisms we can say, or these weeds or worms or the insects larvae or the algae, they are the injurious to the paddy. So by eliminating these factors from this paddy field, it is one of the important role done by the fishes in the paddy cum fish culture. Okay, and it also assists in making fertilizing material more readily available to the paddy field also. Okay, now we move towards the advantages of paddy cum fish culture. How they are beneficial, how these technique we can say that beneficial. So number one is the economical utilization of land, and little extra labor is required. So whatever the labor we have utilized for the paddy, same labor can be used for the fish culture also. Okay, so there is no need to appoint any extra labor. Okay, so little extra labor is required, and the economical utilization of land. Okay, so saving on labor cost towards weeding and supplementary feeding. So see here, we appointed or we just take services from the labor for the weeding purpose. Okay, so by weeding or the supplementary feeding, when we release these fishes in the paddy, so little the labor is saving by this, means both activity we have done by a single level. So okay, so enhanced rice yield by 5 to 15 already we have discussed, which is due to the indirect organic fertilization through the fish excreta. Okay, and the production of fish from paddy field, additional income and diversified harvest such as fish and rice from water, and onions, bean and sweet potato through cultivation on burns, and the fish control of unwanted filamentous algae which may otherwise compete for the nutrients. So this is one of the important advantages over this paddy cum fish culture, that the fish whatever you have cultured in the paddy, it control of unwanted filamentous algae that may otherwise compete for the nutrients also. Okay, so that particular algae, they are removed by the fishes, and it is also helpful for the paddy or whatever the nutrients is present in the particular water or the soil, that it is utilized only by the paddy field. Okay, so tilapia and common carp control the unwanted aquatic weeds which may otherwise reduce rice yield up to 50%. By presence of this particular unwanted aquatic weed in the rice field, they affect on the production of this paddy. So by culturing this tilapia or the common carp, we not only increases the paddy income, but also we control these particular weeds from the water. Okay, and insect pest of rice like stem borers are controlled by fish feeding on them, mainly by morels and the catfishes. No doubt these catfishes and these morels, the catfishes, they are the carnivorous in habitat, and the stem borers, they are the very important insect pest found on rice. So that should be controlled by means it is a biological control. The role of this species, the biological control, and the stem borer, the insect pest, they are controlled with the help of by culturing the morel and catfishes because of they feeds on the particular stem borer insect. Okay, so fish feed on the aquatic intermediate hosts such as malaria causing mosquito larvae, thereby controlling waterborne diseases of human beings also. So in a water, we know the mosquito lays their eggs, and by laying their egg the number of diseases they are spreading. So by applying some larvivorous fishes in the paddy field, so they also control the mosquito larvae as they are feeds on the particular mosquito larvae. Okay, so it is also important that they are the useful to controlling the waterborne diseases of human beings, means they are useful for the mankind also. Okay, and the rice fields may also serve as a fish nurseries to grow fry into fingerlings. If we are not able to paddy field is not having more than 3 to 4 month water, then you can just rear this fry to fingerling stage. Okay, and the fingerlings, if and when produced in large quantities, may either be sold or stocked in production ponds for obtaining better fish yield under the composite fish culture, just we have discussed in our last lecture the polyculture system. Okay, and the considering these advantages, it is imperative to expand fish culture in rice field of our country. So because of these advantages, we have to think that if the water is present for the 6 months, for 8 months, then why we are not taking these fishes for the culturing in this particular water? So that should be incorporated, or that should technology should be adopted by number of you should be adopted by the fish farmers to increase their we can say the livelihood. Okay, so now we have just discussed the advantages. Now the when we select how the site is there, or which type of site is important as far as the paddy cum fish culture is concerned. So for this integrated farming, near about 80 centimeter rainfall is optimum. Means the particular area, area, the rainfall is near about 80 centimeters should be there. Okay, and the fields having an almost uniform counter and high water retention capacity are preferred. So the water retention capacity is more particular soil, so that soil or that particular field should be used for the paddy cum fish culture. Okay, now the groundwater table and drainage system are the important factors to be taken into consideration for the selection of site. When we select any site, at that time how the groundwater table is there and the drainage system is also important while selecting the site for the paddy cum fish culture. Now the types of paddy fields for integrated system you can see in this picture: the perimeter type, then the central pond type, then the lateral trench type. Okay, just you see here this paddy plot is there and the trench. This is this trench region. We can culture the fishes because in this particular trench region the water is present throughout the, or whatever the paddy. We can say the period of paddy. Okay, then the central pond, just you create or we construct the pond in the center of this particular central pond type, and just you can just culture these fishes in this particular area, that is central pond, and the surrounding of the central pond the paddy plot is there, and the lateral trench and the paddy plot and lateral trench means both the sides of the paddy plot it contains lateral trench, so that is called lateral trench type. So between these two lateral lines the paddy plot is there. Okay, so see here the preparation of paddy plot can be according to the land contours on the topography. So perimeter, this is the first type perimeter. The paddy growing area may be placed at the middle with moderate elevation and ground sloping on all sides into perimeter trenches to facilitate easy drainage. So see here, this is the paddy plot, and this area is having the what we can say the sloping on all sides. So whatever the water when we take into the paddy plot, the water the required water is utilized by this paddy plot, and remaining water is released into this trench area, and that the trench area can be used for the fish culture. Okay, now the central pond type, just we have discussed. The paddy growing area is one of the fringe with a slope toward the middle side. Now see here, this is the paddy plot, and you just grow this paddy in this area, and centrally you have to construct one pond, and the particular whatever the water we have given to the paddy plot, no doubt this water is present throughout this paddy plot, but this sloping is in this way. The sloping is done in this way that the water should be collected in the central area, so fish can be cultured in this particular central area or central pond. Okay, and the lateral trench type, the trenches are prepared on one or both lateral sides of the moderately sloping paddy field. No doubt this is the lateral trench type. So paddy plot is into the central, and the both the side means left and the right side of this paddy plot is having the much sloping area, and the water that is released or that is come to the lateral trench, and these lateral trench are useful for the culture of the fishes. Okay, so we can see this simple example. Suppose the area of integrated system is 100 meter into 100 meter, that is 1 hectare. So the area to be utilized for paddy should be 82 meter to 82 meter is 0.67 hectare. So the area to be utilized for fish culture should be 6 meter into 352, that is the 0.2 hectare, that is 4 sides. So embankment should be measured 3 meter into 388 meter is equal to it may be 0.12 hectare, and the area for fruit plants should be 1 meter into 388 meter, that is the 0.04 hectare. This is an ideal ratio for preparation of an integrated system. So when we observe any paddy cum fish culture system, so you can see this type three type of we can observe this paddy fields for the integrated system. First is the perimeter or the central pond type or the lateral trench type. Okay, now paddy cultivation. See here, we are not focusing only on the fish culture, but we have focusing also the best quality paddy we should be culture should be sow, and the production is more as far as the paddy is also concerned. Okay, so the paddy cultivation, so rice varieties used for the integrated systems, the most promising deep water varieties chosen for different states are, you can say in this Andhra Pradesh, that is the PLA2, whereas in Assam is IB1, IB2, AR1, 353, 146, and the Punjab state, the BR49 Jisuria, the variety useful for the paddy cultivation and the paddy cum fish culture is concerned. Then the in Kerala, the AR61 25B PTB 16 is useful for the paddy cultivation, where the Tamil Nadu is TNR1 and TNR the variety is useful or used by the farmers in the Tamil Nadu, and the Uttar Pradesh farmers, they are using the Jalamagan variety, whereas the West Bengal Jaladi 1, Jaladi 2, where in Thodabi variety used in the Manipur state. Okay, so Manohar Sali rice variety seeds are used in the rice field where the fishes are reared. So see here the Manohar Sali rice. This rice variety seeds, they are used where the fishes are reared. This is very important. That is Manohar Sali. Okay. So now the culturable species of fish in rice field. Which type of fishes we have to select for this paddy cum fish culture? So the fish species which could be cultured in rice must be capable of tolerating shallow water. Okay, we can say the depth is below 15 centimeter also, and the high temperature up to 35 degrees Celsius temperature, means that fish should be hardy in nature while we are selecting for the culture or the rearing purpose in the paddy. Okay, so low diesel oxygen and high turbidity is also important as far as the fish paddy cum fish culture is concerned. So these are the points which that fish species can tolerate. So we can say our Indian major carp, the Lemurohita is there, Katla, or the Tilapia mozambica, that is called Oricumus mozambicus. Then the Anamus testonis, Clarius batrachus, Channa striatus, Channa punctatus, Channa morulus, means the Channa species, they are also a very good fish for the culture in the paddy cum fish culture. Okay, and the Heptodontis fossils, Chanos, late carifer, and the mutual species have been widely cultured in the rice fields. Number of researchers, they use this fishes in their experiment. Okay, so the minor crops such as the Libio bata, Libio calvasu, Puntius japonicus, and the Puntius sarana, etc. can also be cultured in paddy field also. Okay, and again along with these fishes, one of the most important freshwater prawn found in our area, that is the Macrobrachum rosenbergi. So the culture of freshwater prawn, that is called Macrobrachum rosenbergi, could be undertaken into the rice field also. And the selection of this species, it depends upon mainly on the depth and duration of water in the paddy field, and also the nature of paddy varieties used. So when we select any fish for the paddy cum fish culture, so at that time you have to we can say you can just select, or you can assure that the depth and duration of the paddy, what means which period, in what period the particular water is there. So on the basis of this particular water, presence of this water, and the depth, and the what which type of what the rice variety, which type of rice variety we have used in this particular paddy. So that should be think before the selection of this species. So this is here, this is the slide of some fishes and that is used for the paddy cum fish culture. So this is the, you just see here, this is the Labiorohita, it is our Indian major carp, then the Katla. See, this is the Oreochromis mosambicus, we can say it is generally called as tilapia. Okay, then the Anabas testudinis, then the again the Clarias batrachus, no doubt the culture of Clarias batrachus is again these fishes some have we can say the they have two different species of Clarias. One is African catfish and another is Asian catfish. So Clarias batrachus and Clarias garaepinus. So we are in our area there is a ban on the culture of Clarias garaepinus. Okay, so but just these Clarias batrachus we can easily available in the state like Jharkhand, Bihar, or the central Madhya Pradesh, where some natural breeding ground is found in found of this fish. Okay, so as far as the Jharkhand is concerned, the Palkot, Gumla, the place where this fish can be easily available. So the particular fish can be useful for very in the fish cum paddy culture. Okay, so this is the three species of Channa, it's Titus, in the Punctatus, and the Marulus. Okay, so and the last means this is the Heteropsinus fossil and Chenochinus and Mutual species. These are the fishes we have we can used or we will use in the what we can say in the paddy cum fish culture. Okay, now after the fishes I have just explained that this is the freshwater prawn. Sorry, this is the freshwater prawn Macrobracton rosenbergi. Okay, so this prawn can be cultured or can be used for culture in the or along with the paddy. Okay, so here this is the culture of freshwater prawn Macrobracton rosenbergi could be undertaken in the rice field also. Okay, so with this is the fishes and this is the some prawn by which we have useful for the culturing as far as the paddy cum fish culture is there. Okay, so remember that this technique is very important. No doubt this is not a new technique. Number of fish farmers in our area, particularly where the field paddy field is more, for example in the state like Kerala, West Bengal, or the Telangana or the Andhra Pradesh, number of fish farmers they engaging this type of activities in their respective states or respective places, and they get good enough exchange, they get good income from both the sides, means by selling the bad rice or by selling the fishes which are they are cultured in their fields. Okay, so it is one of the important culture aspect again in this aquaculture. So integrated fish farming, the first part of this integrated fish farming is the paddy cum fish culture. So that's why we have completed here, and in our next lecture we will discuss the integrated fish cum pig farming, integrated fish cum poultry or the duck farming. Okay, and lastly the pig farming or the cattle farming. So one by one we will discuss it. Okay, so with this I will stop here. We'll meet or in our next lecture. Till then, goodbye.